What's going on there, everybody? I hope you're having a good one. The patch has just gone live, and of course, this is the first big patch for Season 3, and we are going to go straight into it now. So here we are, and let's see what the patch has in store for us. Now, the last large patch that we had was around November time of 2025. They wanted to make sure that they had a patch go out, so a little bit of balancing can go around the characters before Capcom Cup, basically, and some of the last Capcom Pro Tour matches before Capcom Cup had happened. So here we go, and it's going to say right away, currently under maintenance, because everything is down for online, so that we get access to, they are implementing the patch. They are implementing the patch with universal changes, character-specific changes, and Elena is coming in. This is going to be roughly a 7-hour patch. So start the game in offline mode. That is the only option we have. So we're going to hit yes for that. Now we're going to head over to Fighting Ground. And right away it says wins display. A feature to show wins for each player has been added to the battle HUD settings. This feature is not used in extreme battle, online team battles, avatar battle, and world tour. So we're going to head over practice, we're going to go to training, and we're just going to get everything all set up here. So player 1. And here's Renalia Remains. What? Wait a minute. I thought I got this one. No. Okay, maybe it's coming through in the patch. It possibly is, because I bought the DLC package. So so we'll go to let's go to Blanca's stage here. And here is Elena. So they're saying that Elena, the type of difficulty that she is hard, okay? She is considered a tricky playstyle character, and she has a great mid-range. So we can already see what her options are going to be for mid-range, and it's going to be her long legs there. She's already standing taller than Ryu is, so we know she's going to have fantastic options for her range for that, which is very, very cool. Hey there, what's up? Whoop. Which is very, very cool. Yeah, she's right. Yep, she's right. Yeah, we got her on there. Yeah. So, let's see here. Quick history of Elena before we get into the patch notes. Elena is a Kenyan tribal princess from Street Fighter 3 New Generation 1997. She was also in Street Fighter Cross Tekken and Street Fighter 4. She loves nature. She's a capoeira fighter and dancer. She's into acrobatics and very strong mid-range. Her outfit from Second Impact was a Japanese school uniform. In Third Strike, she wore a white sleeveless shirt with red pants. At the time when she was a teenager, she was considered a very, obviously young, but cheerful and smart. She was created by Aikman and was basically developed under a lot of the ladies in these fighting games, Street Fighter and Fatal Fury, were based after Japanese idols, which were actresses and models. So the Japanese idol is a pop singer and actress Yuki Uchida. Elena is friends with Makoto, Ryu, Ibuki, Hugo, Sakura DJ, and Akuma. Is something that, has developed more recently. Her father is the chief, the Kenyan chief, and he is a doctor, and he would travel the world, and Elena and her brother would travel with him and go to all these different schools, and that's how she got to make friends all over the world that way. Now, supposedly in the Street Fighter 6 storyline, she's supposed to match up and be rivals with Lily. And she has the ability to sense evil around her. This is the end of the Season 2 DLC package. So the first character was M. Bison, Dictator. Second was Terry from Fatal Fury. Third was Mai from Fatal Fury. Crossover characters. The last one is Elena. And the interesting thing is that Elena and Bison are opposite characters of each other, whereas Elena is supposed to bring healing and life, and Dictator is supposed to bring suffering and control and basically torture and death, right? So she has a lot of varied combos, target combos, big damage, very good corner carry, very good range and pokes, and she has really good options for anything. You can play her with an offensive or defensive style. She has a very good Oki, but she has to spend for it. Now, this is all before we got to, this is all information before now. So as everything goes live and we start to learn more about everything that we're getting the update on, it's easier to see how everything is going to play out at the time. So her options that she has now are the scratch wheel, which is an uppercut. She has Rhino Horn, which is basically like Fei Long's chicken wing. She has Mallet Smash, which you can imagine is like Terry's crack shoot, his flip kick. She has Spinning Scythe, which is a mid. She has Link's Tail, which is a brand new move, so that she can do it under projectiles. She can scoot under projectiles, and then from that point, and this is another one of the reasons why she's considered difficult. She has options of what she's going to do after that. So say it'd be a low, an overhead, or a mid at that point. DJ is the same. Okay, she and DJ are sort of parallel-ish type of characters as this is going along, as their builds are. She also has the option to combo into Link's Tail. And her super is called Spinning Heat, which from when we were going over it through the video seems to be an overhead. And then she has Brave Dance as her level 2, which can be accessed and branched into two different directions. You can start Brave Dance, and it's invincible on startup, as we think it is so far. And then you can go towards more damage, or you can go towards healing. The healing seems to be about 10 to 15%. So I mean, I don't think that's aggressive. I don't think that's too incredibly much. In my opinion, unless you were in an absolute emergency situation, I would just go for the damage. But that's me. That's me personally. So, looking at the current Elena right now, what do we see? Well, she's very bubbly, very active. A lot of the other characters, now remember, she's younger too, right? Now, we have a lot of the characters like Ryu, and you know, they're trying to reserve their energy, and they're just sort of hanging out, or, you know, just doing their own thing, or just sitting around. Elena is not. She's very active, and she's dancing, and she's playing the same instrument that Eddie Gordo in Tekken 8 is playing, and that is the berimbau. And that is a traditional Brazilian musical instrument. So it's, you know, very cool there. And they're saying that the berimbau is a one-stringed musical bow often used to accompany capoeira. So this is, I think it was a great addition. I think it was a great addition to have that there. And she looks great. She looks great. So let's see here. Now, her background is called Renalia Remains. And that is the background that she comes with in the game. So here we go. Okay, so when you select her, she puts the berimbau down and starts to dance. Dance even more. And then you got Ryu. He's pretty focused, right? Yeah, Kuma. That's exactly it. Wow, they have her doing a lot. That's, you know, it's always interesting to see how games progress, you know? And look at Ryu. I mean, just saying. He's focused, you know, but granted, he's in the same stance for an extended period of time. But Elena's doing multiple different... This is a large loop, is what I'm trying to say. That's very cool. Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad. I like him. I like him even more that he got buffed some. I like him even more. Even Jimmy's looking pretty good. Man, that's right. Very good. So, let's take a look at what the patch says. So, do we want to keep it on this, or put the... Well, we can always go back. Okay. We'll go back and forth. This is cute. I like how they have the movement of her earrings. That's another thing that they're showcasing. When they're showing stuff like that, it's not necessarily... It's because the style is nice, don't get me wrong. But it's more because they're showcasing the energy... They're showcasing the engine of the game, is what it is. They're showing the movement of the earrings to show what the game can do. So here's another example, right? Nobody would think, you know, as necessarily to have these different tassels on Elena. And I'll tell you what, that's the reason why her hair is longer. Because they're showcasing her hair moving around her shoulders. It's not necessarily because, hey, we think this is a great style. It's more, we're showcasing her scarf moving, we're showcasing the tassels moving, and it's because of the engine of the game. I am 99% sure of that. And I bet you that's also the reason why they have the more true reason on why they have Ryu in a Goken's or a Goken-esque cape. It's not necessarily because he's reached this. I mean, it's nice to think it's because he reached this level of, meditation and learning and everything. But it's more they're capitalizing to show while he's jumping the movement of that cape. I think that's where a lot of this is going. Then they don't have his ribbon going behind his back. They have his ribbon going over his shoulder to show off the movement of the ribbon. So, cool thing I noticed when Elena attacks, she starts her idle dance on the foot. Oh, her attack lands on. See, isn't that's personalized. It's neat stuff. It's neat. I like it. I think it's a lot of attention to detail. So let's take a look at the general notes here. And we are going to go to, if anybody's interested, what we're going to do is we're going to head to the Buckler website. Hi there, what's up? And then we're going to, when you're there, you go to, it says battle change list, and you click on that. And then it says PDF and the version, right? So it's 202506 and it's red. And you click on that, and then it has all the information. There's a lot. And there's a lot because this is a big patch. It's huge. It's a 7-hour patch. This is a massive patch. And they did say that they were looking to do these less frequently so that these patches are going to be huge. So here we go. And we're going to read through this together. Okay. Okay. I gotta make this even bigger. Okay. We're gonna be reading for a little bit here, everybody, so just get ready. Okay. So, now it's up to you guys. Do you guys want me to keep it on this, or do you want me to put it on the character intro where she's standing in the intro? Do you want to see it here, or because once I get rolling with this, it's going to be on it for a little while. It's up to you guys. Do you want that, or you guys want to see Elena? You guys want to just see the document instead? The gallery music? I think I can do that. So what I can do is I can put the notes on and then try to have the music on in the background. How about that? We could try it. Let me see. So what we would do is, yeah? Okay. Okay. Whoops. Wrong button. Oh, I have to escape on here. Okay, so... JP? Wait a minute. How'd that happen? Wait a minute. Character. Huh, JP. Wonder why it's doing that. Am I doing something wrong? No, here we go. Plays F. I can't hear it. Play, stop, play song. Yeah? There we go, we got it now. Can you guys hear it? Hi there. You can hear it? Good. Okay. It's nice. It's got a good beat. It's got a good beat, but it's kind of relaxing at the same time. I don't know how to explain what this song is like, but it's very good. It's very, very well done. So we're going to pull up the notes, and I am going to read them. Here we go. Everybody, get ready. Healing. I know, right? It's not oppressive. It's like 10%, 15%. To be honest, depending on the situation, I probably want to go after the damage, but we'll see. It's early. Okay, everybody, let's do it. June 2025 Season 3 patch for Street Fighter 6 Adjustment Summary. Overall concept. Our focus for this end of the year content... Whoops, I already read backwards. What the heck? I go too fast. Our focus for this end of the content year update was various character tunings in addition to alterations to the general strategy of the game through a number of battle system changes. A list of changes and our explanations behind them can be found below. We hope that these explanations will help explain our thought process, especially for adjustments where the intention is less obvious than others. And remember too, we all need to play through these changes. There's going to be a lot of things that don't make sense. And that's when we all become the testers at that point and figure out how all this works. And it takes, I think, a minimum of 2 months. That's my opinion. Perfect parry. A screen freeze will no longer occur when successfully performing a perfect parry unless the correct direction is held. Down back must be held for low attacks, and back must be held for high and overhead attacks to successfully produce a screen freeze. This change is intended to improve the feeling of being on the receiving end of a perfect parry. It is in response to a number of situations. 1. Because perfect parry required no additional input. It was too easy of a choice to simply parry the moment the player sees their opponent move. Another was the drive parry before drive rush, occasionally causing a perfect parry by chance when it hit by an opponent's spacing attack. These kinds of incidental perfect parry situations were found to result in frustration for players, when a perfect parry turned the tide of the match. This is very ironic because a player that was really utilizing perfect parry, especially at the very beginning of Street Fighter 6, was Kakeru. He did very well using JP and accessing perfect parries and everything. And then further along, he won Capcom Cup and won with JP. He didn't do an insane amount of perfect parries, but you could definitely see where the momentum was flowing at that point. While we had attempted to balance the risk and reward of perfect parry through gauge, use, and gain, and increasing recovery of drive parry, reward was still too high on success and the risk too low on failure. If you did a regular parry, the cooldown was extended so that you could punish it. That's what they're talking about there. By requiring an additional input alongside the already present timing requirements, we hope to reduce these incidental parries. Perfect parry against projectiles, which produces no time freeze, has been kept as they were in order to prevent projectiles from becoming overly oppressive. Adjustments resulting from perfect parry changes. Because the perfect parry alterations have been made highs and lows more important, many characters have received changes to their lows to ensure they are not overly powerful. This change also means that it will be more difficult to perform a perfect parry against an attack out of drive rush. A common choice to begin an offensive push. Taking this into consideration, crouching medium kicks that cannot be canceled into other moves have been giving scaling in order to ease their strength when used from drive rush, as they could lead to combos and were safe on block. In anticipation of long-reaching lows becoming a powerful way to begin offense, characters that are able to cancel the crouching medium kicks will no longer be able to evade an opponent's throw after having their drive rush light attack blocked from a crouching medium kick. This will require the opponent to throw as soon as they are able. Attack sequences using crouching light kick from close ranges have also received changes. Because perfect parry was universal for strikes, it was common to have crouching light kicks perfect parried when trying to check an opponent's wake up. This combined with the fact that most light punches resulted in more advantage. Crouching light kicks were considered a low priority move. With changes in perfect parry, these attacks should see much more use. We have also made it more likely for consecutive light attacks to reach with alterations to advantage and pushback on block to light moves. As discussed below, we've added assisted combos that incorporate a crouching light attack as the second attack in the string, so you can attack in the similar fashion as when using classic controls. Throw escapes. The player who escapes a throw will now receive more drive rush and super art gauge than before. That's interesting because they definitely looked into that for Tekken 8 also. A classic defensive strategy was to perform a delayed throw escape after blocking for an instant. This was a strong option against both strikes and throws. but it proved difficult to turn the fight around into your favor, as the attacker could simply wait and attack a whiffed throw attempt, making it a high risk but low return defensive option. As a defensive measure against throws, players could also backdash or jump to get better rewards, which meant the throw escapes were not an option that was chosen often. In order to provide players with another valuable close-range option when on the defensive, we decided to give more resources upon a successful throw escape. This will be a huge boon for players, especially just before hitting burnout, and can become a valid option to get straight out of a tight situation. Sweeps. Along with reducing the hurt box on the first active frame, we made adjustments so that on a normal or counter hit, players can still perform a recovery. By greatly reducing the hurt box immediately after the attack startup, although there's some risk if the attack was blocked or missed, it's now an attack that can win out against other pokes more often. Remember, this option when you don't have much health left or are in a pinch. On the other hand, the move can now be recovered from after a normal or counter hit. So your offensive situation after hit is much different. Each character will have a different wake-up gameplay now, so study up. Due to this change, the strategy of knocking down an opponent and switching the sides before they get up is now gone, except if the attack lands as a punish counter. Note that the attacks that slide along the ground are not subject to this change. Modern controls have received 2 major updates. 1. Jumping attacks. By pressing the assist button with an attack button, you can now use different jumping attacks while in the air. As a general rule, good air to ground attacks require pressing the assist button, while the attacks are suited for air-to-air situations are now the normal jumping attacks. Number 2. Unique assisted combos can now be performed starting from a rapid cancel light attack. Due to the properties of assisted combos when using modern controls, it wasn't possible to look for a combo after a second light attack, with the exception of some characters. However, considering the changes made to the perfect parry, it is now more important to mix up the high-low levels of attacks more than ever. So performing auto light from a rapid cancel light attack, you can now perform a unique assisted combo that begins with a light attack. This unique assisted combo is the exact same as every character's assisted combo 1, but when rapid canceled, it will continue until the end regardless if the attack hits or is blocked. Universal changes. Corner jump behavior bug fix. Fixed an issue where player 1 and player 2 behavior would differ when performing a jump on an opponent who is in the corner of the stage. Corner behavior for certain characters. Bug fix. Fixed an issue where characters would switch sides when certain forward-moving attacks were performed as a counter after perfect parry in the corner of the stage. Adjustment. Advancing drive gauge recovery amount. Drive gauge recovery now occurs from frame 11 and later after moving forward. The cooldown period that occurs after immediately performing the overdrive art is not affected due to the amount of drive recovered, changing, depending on the time elapsed. Adjusted perfect parry requirements. Conditions for the perfect parry are changed for some attacks. The screen freeze that occurs with the perfect parry will no longer occur if the correct block direction input is not used. Highs, overhead attacks, standing block, parry, low attacks is now crouching block parry. If a player performs the incorrect block input, the perfect parry will not trigger, but they will recover more drive gauge than the normal parry. For projectiles that do not trigger a screen freeze, the old perfect parry input will still apply. In training mode, adjusting the switch block setting will change whether the dummy performs a perfect parry or not. Bug fix. Perfect parry buffer input. Fix the issue where a buffered input would be completely lost when performing a perfect parry during an attack that has a long buffer input period. Bug fix. Dynamic controls. Fix an issue where certain inputs would cause a character not to land on the ground if they are in the air when the time runs out. This fix affects Cammy, Ed, Bison, Terry, and Mai. Bug fix. Assisted combos. Fixed an issue that caused a buffer input to be lost if the first attack of the assisted combo misses and the same attack is inputted as a buffer. Adjustment assisted combo. Unified the input period of the first attack of the assisted combo to the second attack. The input timing is now unified to the frame before the attack hitbox of the first attack comes out. This was done in order to prevent the second attack of assisted combo from being performed unintentionally. Adjustment. Assisted combo. By pressing down assist button, light attack button, after rapid cancelable light attack, players can now perform a new assisted combo starting from a low attack. These conditions for perfect parry have changed, and previously it wasn't possible to separate the high and low attacks from a close light attack, limiting offensive options in comparison to classic controls. For some characters, this new assisted combo has the same structure as the already existing assisted combo 1, but the conditions for this assisted combo are slightly different, and repeatedly pressing the assist and light attack will allow you to perform an assisted combo to the final hit regardless if it is blocked or hits. Jumping attacks, modern. Different jumping attacks can now be used depending on if the assist button is pressed or not. The general rule for jumping attacks is as follows. Normals. The attacks effective against an opponent in the air. Assist button. Attacks effective against opponents on the ground. When jumping up to attack an opponent in the air, the ability to think quickly and act is the most important. In order to avoid increasing the complexity of the controls in those situations, we designed this change so that attacks that are effective in air-to-air situations. Whoops. Just trying to say they might want to change that right there. I can't highlight. It's like highlighting the whole screen. We designed this change so that the attacks that are effective in air-to-air situations can be performed without pressing the assist button. For characters that had jumping attacks with the same downward attack direction of the same strength, the jump attack that was previously used will be performed under the normal situation. For details on what move is performed for each character, please visit their respective section. Normal throws. Bug fix. Fix an issue where a throw would miss even in a punish counter situation when performing a normal throw after a drive parry. This change affects Aki, forward and back throws, and Bison's back throw. Bug fixed back throws. Fixed an issue where a back throw would be misinterpreted as a throw forward when the opponent performs a technique that causes a dark screen transition just as the player's attack recovery is about to end. Bug fix. Normal throws and command throws. Fix an issue where two players attempt to throw at the same time. Under certain circumstances, the result to be fixed to one side rather than the Wait, I'm sorry. Fix an issue where the two players attempt a throw at the same time. Under certain circumstances, the result to be fixed to one side rather than be random as intended. Adjustment, throw escapes. Increase the amount of drive and super art gauge gained after a successful throw escape. Adjustment, crouching heavy kick. 1. Behavior on hits and counter hits have been unified. You may now backwards recover from both. The status on hit changes depending on the character. This change affects Aki and Ed's crouching medium punch instead of their crouching heavy kick, and it does not apply to DJ. Reduced hurt box on the first active frame. Increased buffer time at the end of recovery. Okay. And then they go into the different character adjustments there. So very, very good. I hope you guys enjoyed the review for the universal changes here for Street Fighter 6, and a lot of good things to look forward to. And we are going to be going into the rest of the patch, so I hope you guys check out our next video, and we'll see ya.